What is going on with your YouTube? This is Regular Dave coming at you with another video. Yes, you see the title, Madden 15 E3, man. I went to E3, tried to grab some footage. I'm going to show y'all what happened when I tried to grab that footage. They shut me down real quick. Got about 3 seconds before they said, yo, look at the sign. No filming. I didn't see the sign, man. I had, last time I went, people had tripods set up. So I wasn't able to grab the footage. So we're going to look at the stills and we're going to talk about it. My hands-on impressions. I did get to play 2 games and I was watching a bunch of games, and I'm going to tell y'all what I think, what I noticed. Now, let me go off and say E3 is not really a place to criticize and judge a game completely. You get, see things that they're doing, but you don't have the benefit of replay. There's a lot going on around you. I cannot stay focused to really judge the game as it should be. So E3 is not the place for that. Everybody's around you. You're looking to see who's this person, who's that person. So I couldn't really judge it, but I'm gonna tell you what I noticed. All right, let's talk about number 1 thing I noticed: the Infinity Engine. I took a year off. I didn't play Madden 25. I didn't buy it because I knew it just wasn't gonna be the title that I wanted. I felt like it was a stopgap. So let's talk about the Infinity Engine. Now, I'm not an EA hater, as some of y'all might think I am. A couple years ago, I was a big proponent of the Infinity Engine. I said, give it a chance to mature, give it time, and eventually, hopefully, they'll get it right. My observation for Madden 15, the Infinity Engine is still not very mature yet. You see a lot of instances where their bodies go limp. It looks like they've been shot. The arm goes behind their back still. Piles that look like they don't make any sense. The players are kind of brainless. You still see a lot of those instances, and I just wish by now they would have had that figured out. I would definitely like the Infinity Engine to be a lot tighter and look a little more like football. So that is, one of the first things I noticed from taking a year off, that the game hasn't come far enough along with the physics as I would have liked. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the line play, because that's a big deal with the new defensive moves that they've added. I can tell you one thing: the line definitely feels more organic and it looks a lot more violent. Because your players aren't stuck in place anymore. You could actually move their feet and kind of control them as they're engaged. You could disengage. You got, I just feel like the game is going to give the elite defensive lineman, whether you're edge rusher or, just an overpowering tackle, a lot more credit. And you'll be able to notice the difference between the elite players and the not so elite players. Now, something that I cannot speak to is the AI of the offensive line. I cannot say whether they finally got it right. I just didn't really take the time to really pay attention to that. And when you get the game home and you sit on the couch and play it, that's when you start noticing, like, why did he do that? I don't know. I don't know if the offensive line artificial intelligence is quite up there yet. But I can tell you the line looks better, man. There's no 2 ways to cut it. It does look better. It looks a lot more violent. A lot more chaos is going on. Just not sure about the AI. And the AI is probably the most important thing when it comes to the offensive line. Because if they don't behave right, then no matter how good it looks, it'll still ruin gameplay. So I can't speak to that. I can't say if the line is fixed. But it does look better just from a first impression standpoint. All right, now let's talk about some really good things. I want to talk about the passing game. They didn't really talk about this too much. They didn't focus on it because this year was all about defense, because the Legion of Boom won the Super Bowl, and we know that they love trends in Madden. But one thing that they did do great is showing the accuracy on passes. I saw a couple errant passes, and they didn't look like they just went off target where there's no way you can get to them. Receivers made plays on passes that they had no chance of getting, and it was one of those, they had animations to show, like, I don't got a chance of getting it, but I'm gonna still make an effort. Ball went over your head, they just waved their hands up, making a wild motion at it. Balls are out of reach, they're lunging, trying to get them, even though there's no chance on earth that they can get to the pass, and that looks like football. Those are the little things that we see in a game that just immerse us into the game. It just keeps us focused into the game because you're like, oh, that looks real. So the errant passes and the difference between quarterbacks is apparent. Now, I cannot confirm this, but from my hands-on experience, I play with the Broncos. I'm a Bronco fan. I felt like Peyton Manning's balls, he was actually throwing ducks out there. I don't know if I was just making this up in my head, but his balls were not lasers. They were not spirals, especially when I went deep. They were a little off. They were a little wobbly. And I hope that is specific to him, because we all know he doesn't have this after the neck surgery, or he's never really had the strongest arm, and he does throw quite a few ducks. Now, they're perfect ducks. They get to where they're going at the right time, but he does throw ducks, and I did notice that playing with Peyton Manning. I didn't play with any other quarterbacks, but if that is the case and it's specific in that way, that is a great addition, man. It's the little things. We've been asking for the little things, and that is one thing that they're gonna give us. And it looks good. You'll notice an immediate difference in the passing game. Now, the one thing you will notice in the passing game, still the lack of cornerback wide receiver interactions, and I don't know why. FIFA players jostle for position. I don't really think that's a technical feat to put in a game these days, and I have no idea why it's not in the game. I'm not accepting any excuses anymore. Things like that have to be in the game. They absolutely have to. It's not a technical feat to put that in. We've seen it in other sporting franchises, and I'm at the point where if the cycle isn't long enough to put it in the game, delay the game, because it needs to be in there. Now, I know that's not rational and logical to them, but as a consumer, I want a product when it's ready and done, not when it's like, oh, it's not in this year, but we'll get it in next year. That is not in the game. All right. I'm telling you, good and bad, always Madden. Good and bad. All right, let's go to another thing. Presentation. All right, this is a big one. Now, one thing this game does that I've been asking sports games to do for a long time, and it is amazing, is eliminate the cutscenes. Get rid of the cutscenes. Next generation graphics are good enough. You do not need cutscenes anymore. We want real-time celebrations, real-time everything, and Madden has done it. And you got to give them kudos for doing it, because there's a lot of franchises still cutting the cutscenes to show us celebrations and things like that. When you sack a quarterback in this game, your dude gets up and immediately dances. And what this does is, once again, it keeps you immersed in the action. It keeps you focused on what's going on and saying, okay, this game is not just disjointed. It's not gameplay and then a movie. I feel like cutscenes, oh my God, they hurt Fight Night so bad for presentation. So kudos to them for doing that, because you know what, that probably takes a lot of time to get these real-time celebrations. Now, I need them to take celebrations one step further. I need them to get, this is not in the game. It wasn't in the build I was playing. I need them to get the temperament of the players correct, because the game can look a little silly when you have Peyton Manning acting like a fool on the field. Like he threw, I don't know if it was a touchdown or interception, either or. It was like an extreme reaction to it, which we know Peyton is pretty even temper. He's just going to jog off the field. Either or, touchdown or interception, he's just going to jog off the field. I seen Wes Welker damn near do the stanky leg. He did some crazy dance. They need to get the temperament of the players right. This goes beyond signature dances and all that, because they have all that, and it looks good. When Des Bryant catches a touchdown, he immediately throws up the X. There's no cutscene, there's nothing. You see it in real time on the field, and that is amazing. And that's the way sports games should be. But players who aren't known for celebrating, aren't known for a lot of emotion, shouldn't be wilding out, because that can definitely take you out of the game and say, okay, yeah, this is a video game. You got Peyton Manning doing the Chopper City juke. All right, it may not be that extreme, but they don't have the temperament of the players correct. All right, so let's get into a pregame show, halftime show, post show. I can say those didn't blow me away, but I want to watch them at home. From what I noticed, they kept them pretty brief, which it should be a goal of a video game, because at the end of the day, people complain about the presentation, but 95% of the people just skip it anyway. So with the presentation, you can't really do it like a TV broadcast. You do have to keep it brief, and I do give them credit for that. And it's hard to judge because I really couldn't hear the audio at all because it was just so loud in there. But I wasn't like amazed with the way it looked. But they said it's going to be unique to every game. They said they're not going to show highlights from other games, which is kind of a letdown. But they said it's going to be unique to every game. So I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to give it a try and see how it goes. But at the end of the day, I'm probably going to spam the X button because I want to get to the action. All right, so let me just sum up my hands-on impression. Let me say this. Some of you guys are not going to be happy until somebody else makes another game. So it doesn't really matter what Madden does, if it gets better incrementally, if it's a big jump. You guys want to see another game from another company. For those people, don't even bother. Like, don't read no reviews. Don't watch YouTube. Because you know what? Madden is just not what you're looking for. For the people who want to know if the game legitimately got better. And, you know, is the game going to be fun? Is it going to simulate football a little better this year? My answer is yes. It will simulate football better than it did last year and the year before that. Now, it's definitely an evolution of Madden. It's not a revolution. It's not a whole new, brand new, exciting simulation of football. But it is a pretty decent simulation of football. Now, the truth will be the AI. The truth will be when you see something crazy and you go back in the replay and you can look and say, oh, okay, that made sense, or it didn't make sense. If the AI is still as bad as it's been, then, you know, we can start throwing those complaints out there. But my opinion, this game has improved. It's baby steps. It's crawling. It's not all the way there yet, man. It got a ways to go. I'm definitely going to buy it, break it down, play it, have fun with it. I already know that because I had fun playing it at E3. Let me know what you guys think in the comments from what you've seen, man. I wish I could have brought you footage, but you see they shut your boy down. All right, I'll get at you guys another time. Peace.